What's up, Zox fan? We're back with some more Etheria Restart. Now, we're going to be getting into a HyperTALK recap, and we're also going to be getting into the beta and as well as the rebate that's going to be attached with that so that you guys can make sure you're getting the most out of this opportunity. Now, with that, jumping right in, this HyperTALK video, I got to say, is such an amazing idea. I'm actually really excited to see what these are going to look like in the future as well, where they basically answer some of the most important questions that we basically have, or even showcasing updates, things of that nature. I feel like these are going to be great things that we just need to maintain within the community. So yeah, shout out to our CM Chris and as well as Ellie for basically putting this together again. All right, so let's go ahead and let's jump into the questions here. And the first question actually asked was one that was relative to stamina. So one of the first questions was, will stamina consumption be adjusted? They basically go to say that no, not at this moment, but they are going to be basically monitoring the game to see what exactly needs to be adjusted, basically off of, again, this new version that we're going to more than likely be getting. This is something that is really important to kind of keep in mind. There are a lot of ways that I guess that they could technically implement stamina or even make stamina system better without necessarily increasing the cap. They could obviously create an overflow system. So like we have a reserve tank. There's easy ways to do things like that. You can easily drop more stamina in people's boxes. There's a lot of different things that they could do. But I think that one of the biggest things, which I can kind of understand, is really just trying to create a parameter for players, basically so that they can get on the game, grind, and then from there they know like, okay, I can go do other things, or I can go play this other mode versus being stuck in like stamina Hades all day, you know? So I guess it just really all depends on what kind of player you are. I know some people prefer to have more stamina than others. But again, I think that that also kind of coincides with the balance of the game, which is something that seems to be really important, is making it leveled for both free to play and for pay to win, at least to some regard. Granted, there are going to be some benefits, obviously, to being a spender like it is in most gachas, but they really are trying to emphasize this fair play esports feel. So I guess that kind of does make more sense, right? Now, of course, going into the second question here, will there be a one-click sweep feature? So they basically said that they're going to be monitoring this. I think for what we have right now, I think it's based off of how many stars you basically accumulate or get on the stages. I feel like that's kind of like a mixed thing that some players like. Some don't, some do. I will say that, of course, them like optimizing it or making it better, there's always room for improvement. I feel like personally it does kind of make sense. I'm used to playing games with star systems, whereas like there's some gamers I guess that aren't. So I guess it just all depends on like what your background is. But I wouldn't be mad at it, I mean, to be honest. But I will say also, the one thing is like that's the name of the game. Like when you're playing these gear grindy games, like grinding is a part of the game, right? Like it just is. But of course, having some QOL features to make things slightly easier for players is really nice, right? Now, of course, going from there, we have question 3, will there be a support system? I can answer that off the top of my head, but they do answer this, but we do have a support system in the game. There's a lot of different things that you can basically use this system for. You can use it in the union, where you can basically trade currencies for each attribute. That allows you to basically get shards for characters that you want to basically start getting dupes for. You can also use supports in things like, for example, the co-op feature, which basically is going to allow you to basically team up with other players. You guys can use each other's characters. Even in the union battle, you can actually use your guild mates or union mates characters in the union boss fight. So there's definitely a lot of different ways, and it seems like they also are planning on other ways to have us have more cooperative interaction, which is something I'm really excited about, just because that gives us more of an opportunity to be able to play the game with each other, and it not being so solo. I feel like, most games have been so on your own. You're not really able to interact directly in game with others. And it's like, yeah, you can add friends, but it doesn't really matter. Like you might be able to use them for farming, but you don't actually get to interact with them. And that's one thing that they're actually bringing to the table. Now from here, they also go to say, are we getting new story content in this upcoming beta? Now, yes, we absolutely are. This is actually something that I'm actually really excited about because they actually mentioned that they decided to take a deeper approach with the story, updating some of the cinematics. Obviously, they have made the story a lot deeper. So even for me, this is going to be a lot of new things that I'm going to be seeing, and we'll be able to share these experiences together. So I'm really hyped because I feel like the story component is going to be a really big part. Even if you don't read the story, context makes things better, right? Like just having a whole bunch of units coming into the game, you have no idea what and why, right? Like these things actually are going to make you more hype because it's like, okay, this guy is like, say, the god of whatever, like he's the god of destruction or something in the storyline. That might make people more likely to want to summon that unit, right? Or even just the fact that the story was really sad for that character. Some people might be like, wow, that really made me like that character more. So now I'm going to summon for that character, right? Like, so there's a lot of different things that story can do. And I feel like story is a really, really great component to really incorporate if you're going to have a full fleshed out gacha game, because there are going to be some players that are absolutely here for reading the story, right? Now, of course, with that, they go to say in the next question here, which is question 5, will there be optimization to UI design? So I think that was definitely one of the things that they did mention that they are obviously working on, have implemented things to show like buffs, debuffs. I know that was like one of the biggest things. And so they go to answer that, that those will be things that are going to be adjusted basically, so that players have a more smoother experience. And they're just getting better QOL features and UI design. Just again for the eyes, right? Just so they're nice to the eyes, but also too so that you actually know what's going on. I've actually like competed in some of the tournaments, and that's definitely one of the things that was like you kind of had to know like what was happening. So they're definitely, taking all that data in and making the proper adjustments, which is really nice to see. Then of course, going into Q6, will hyperlinkers be able to add friends on different platforms or regions? They actually go to say that, yes, you can. So we could basically add each other all as friends. This is going to be cross-plat, the regions, or as far as like even down to like the accessibility on platforms. You can basically have this on PC, you can have it on mobile, etc. Console, I don't know, maybe that would be really cool in the future. But nonetheless, these are the platforms that we have. And as far as regions, this game is going to be like launching simultaneous. So we are going to be obviously, all on the same level playing field, whether you're in China, whether you're in Japan, whether you're in the United States and the UK. This is something that is like really, really hype. I feel like personally, because I don't really like when games are necessarily just so premeditated that like you get on the game and the other server's already been out for like 2 years. I like when we all get to start together and we can all figure out strategies and basically different components of the game at the same time. Now they also have here at Q7, how will Etheria balance free-to-play and paying players? And to simply put, the answer that was given, what they want to do essentially is they want to basically make it to where free-to-play players are still going to have access to everything, but they just will require a little bit more time and a little bit more effort. So they might have to play more events. They might have to do certain things within the game, completing certain tasks and content and just overall events for you to be able to get some of those currencies. But they basically have a philosophy where they want everyone to basically have access to basically everything. They want you to be able to play with different characters, if not all the characters at some point, so that you're able to create different strategies and overall be able to just be able to play more of the game and making teams that you really care about, right? I think that also is a really good thing. I think the biggest thing with paying players is that paying players are just going to be able to expedite certain things or get access to things quicker. I think that typically is the thing in all gacha that you're typically paying for is time, right? So if you're going to be free to play, it might just require a little bit more time, which I think is fair because you're free to play, right? Now from there, we have in question 8, speaking of upcoming content, will new characters be introduced? So they go to say that on May 8th, if I'm not mistaken, they will be actually introducing some new Animus, and they said multiple to be exact. So I'm actually really excited to see what these characters are going to be bringing to the game. I feel like there's a ton of different things that we already have within the game as far as different strategies and metas and just all different types of things that really make the game go around. So it is going to be really cool to see what new gimmicks, because that's the thing with Etheria. They don't just introduce a unit that already does something. they will introduce an entirely new gimmick. And so that's something that I feel like is really going to be interesting to see how these units affect the game, maybe even down to both PvE and PvP. But I'm really excited to see how they affect PvP. I think that that's definitely what I'm really excited to see. Now with question 9, the question was, will new gameplay be introduced in the upcoming test? They go to answer this as basically they will be giving us more PvE and PvP content. I think that that's just a fair answer. I don't think they want to give the specifics just yet. But then what's really interesting is that on question 10, they actually go to ask, what's that tournament about? So they go to say that we have obviously ETH Arena, we have real-time RTA Summit Arena, but they're actually going to be in the future launching a new skill-based competitive experience that's going to be called Fearless Arena. So as far as the details on what that is, we just have to wait and see what exactly that's going to be. But all in all, I feel like this is going to be a really, really cool thing because obviously this is something that is a little bit more official feeling or more official oriented. So they basically go to say that we have to wait until the live streams that are going to be coming up in the near future so that we can get that information. So that's basically that for the recap. Once again, guys, we have to shout out Chris and Ellie for actually taking the time and really honestly the team putting in the effort to give us these types of videos so early. I just hope that they continue to do these things. These are absolutely amazing things that we have going on within the community. And I feel like these are actually some really good questions that they answer. All right, so let's actually move over into our rebate portion because I want to actually talk about that and, of course, some of the dates. Now, of course, the final test will be beginning on May 8th. So this is definitely something that you want to keep an eye out for. We'll obviously be streaming. We'll be obviously making videos and just taking in a whole bunch of feedback and information because, yes, we got to update and add more to the wiki. So, yeah, there's a lot of things that we're going to actually be doing. But nonetheless, also with the rebate, okay, that's the next thing I really want to talk about here is the purchase rebate because you will be able to actually spend on this beta, but it's going to be basically a data wipe. So I want to kind of explain this. So it says, dear hyperlinkers, this is a paid closed beta test with scheduled data wipes. During this test period, payment features will be fully operational. Your accumulated purchases will be refunded to your testing account according to our refund policy once Etheria officially launches. The refund rules will be detailed as below. All right, so let's go ahead and let's jump into them. All right, so first thing, it says during the test, your total purchases, including the monthly cards, premium passes, and ultimate passes, will be refunded as Hydra vouchers at the rate of 1 USD, equaling 1 Hydra voucher when the game officially launches. The refund tiers are as follows. So in tier 1 is 0 to 99, which is a 200% Hydra voucher rebate. You have tier 2, which is 100 to 399, which is 150% Hydra voucher rebate. Tier 3, you have 400 to 999, which is 125% Hydra voucher rebate. And then in tier 4, you have 1,000 and above, which is 110% Hydra voucher rebate. So it goes to say that note, Hydra vouchers can be used to purchase in-game items, including Hydra crystals, monthly supply cards, premium passes, and ultimate passes, and various purchasable bundle packs. Refund calculations will be based on each item's USD price, not on real-time exchange rates of your local currency. So yes, everything is being based off of the USD, so do keep that in mind. Now it says for discounted purchases, refunds will be calculated based on the original price of the item, and the final refund amount may differ slightly from your actual payment. We appreciate your understanding. Now it goes to say here that all supply monthly cards purchases will be counting towards your cumulative spending total and qualify for your Hydra voucher refunds according to the policy above. Additionally, you will receive monthly supply vouchers based on the following rules. So if you purchase 2 or fewer cards, full refund for the purchase monthly supply voucher. And then if you purchase more than 2 cards, then the maximum of 2 monthly supply vouchers are refunded. So what this is basically saying, guys, is don't buy more than 2. So you only are going to get a maximum of 2 monthly supply vouchers refunded. I'm not sure if this was just like a thing for them to maybe cap it, but yeah, don't buy more than 2 expecting to get more than that, right? It's only going to cap out at that point. Now it says the monthly supply voucher provides 30-day benefits upon activation. So I think that this also is just kind of a safe parameter for yourself. I mean, you could just buy the remaining if you want to just have it extended on the actual release, but at least you know that you'll at least cap out at 2 monthly supply vouchers, right? Now from here, what you're also going to have is the rebate rules for when you're purchasing a premium pass or ultimate pass during the beta test. Your payment will count towards your cumulative spending total and qualify for Hydra voucher refunds according to the policy above. Additionally, you'll receive the corresponding. So if you purchase a premium pass, you receive a premium exchange voucher. This item can be used to activate the premium pass once Etheria officially launches. Now, if you buy a ultimate pass purchase, receive a ultimate exchange voucher. This item can be used to activate the ultimate pass once Etheria officially launches. Now, if I'm remembering this correctly, I think that this is the battle pass. I think it might be a couple of different tiers to it, but it says upgrading the premium pass to ultimate pass. The upgrade cost will count toward the cumulative spending, and you will receive an ultimate exchange voucher as a rebate. So if you go so you're only going to get one of these, right? So it's either you buy at the base and you get the premium pass, or you buy at the higher and you get the ultimate pass, right? You don't get both, and it's basically an upgrade. So it makes sense because one is probably definitely cheaper than the other, and then unlocks more stuff. So you will get that on release, which then if you say get the ultimate pass, that'll unlock everything for you, right? So just to kind of paint that picture for you guys. Now, for this next portion, I just want to simplify this. Remember that there are tiers. The tiers are basically going to be the thing that the number in that tier gets multiplied against. So like, for example, remember in tier 1, it only went up to $99.99. So that gets multiplied by 200. Then any excess over that up to $399.99 will then get multiplied by 150, so on and so forth. So that's where this math is actually coming from. Now, from there, what you can see here is that the person actually spent about $1,076.85 during the beta test, which included monthly supply passes, 3 to be exact, premium pass, and the Hydra crystal purchases that they made. But at official launch, what they're going to receive after all this math is done is basically about $14.85 because it gets rounded up to the nearest voucher number or the nearest whole number. So it's going to be $14.85 Hydra vouchers. They get 2 monthly supply vouchers and 1 premium exchange voucher. Now, this is why I was also saying before, there's no point in you actually buying more than 1 voucher if you're trying to get a voucher. What they did instead is they actually made that amount go into Hydra vouchers versus it being another monthly card. So just to kind of clear that up, you do still get value. So if you do decide to buy more than, yes, you still get value, but it doesn't get given back as a monthly supply card. It will go into your Hydra voucher. Okay, that's where that basically where that value is going to go. And then of course, when it comes down to the premium pass, you get the exchange vouchers instead, right? So same thing with the ultimate exchange voucher or ultimate pass, you get the ultimate exchange voucher, right? Just to kind of clear that up some. Now from there, guys, basically how you claim your rebates, very simple. Each XD account will automatically receive all rebate items via in-game, and rebate items can only be claimed once. So you have to check your XD account, go to the login screen and click on the account on the right. Now, obviously, you're worried about this when you have it tangibly in your face to be able to do it. But this is going to be really important because this means that whatever account that you start out in the beta, you have to have it in your mind that that's going to be whatever account you're going to play, right? I know that there's going to be some of you guys that want to re-roll. And with that being the case, I would definitely say that you might have to consider making more than 1 account, maybe a free-to-play one and one that you spend on. But I really would say if you're going to spend, you're probably not going to be trying to re-roll at that point. You'll just have to obviously just play and summon for whatever it is that you want. Because if you're looking to, like, say, maybe stall and wait for your rebate, you can't, because it's going to be attached to a specific XD account that you start in the beta. Now, that's just kind of that food for thought. Now, they give us one more example on the last page, so we're not going to go too deep into that because it's just more math examples just to kind of give you a little bit of a breakdown. But I will have this linked all down below so that you guys can check this out, so that you have, if you have any questions, of course, let them, leave them down below on this video. But if you have any more questions and you need another visual, they do have some more examples. So again, I'm not a mathematician, so I just wanted to kind of show that a little bit, right? Now, with that, guys, this is basically going to be everything everything that we have as far as news. Now, again, I've been keeping up with everything for almost the last 4 years, dude. And it's just really exciting to see all these things finally fleshing out. I know a lot of you guys were asking about the spending portion of the game. Is the game going to be pay to win? Is it going to be free to play? This is going to be very telling. And I really honestly feel like it's going to be fine no matter what, because we have such a strong dev team that's willing to listen to our feedback. They've made so many changes over the years, and I really can't wait for you guys to be able to see some of the things that they have cooked up. I can't wait to see them myself. So yeah, guys, let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Again, are you hyped? If not, I don't know what to tell you, but either way, make sure you guys join the Discord, man. We have been obviously going crazy. I got all of the character overviews that I want to do. We're going to be getting some synergy videos up. I know some of you guys have been asking for that. With the wiki, we've been just basically trying to build a really solid base foundation so players can learn the game, and then from there they can understand and start building into synergies because they know what each individual character does. So when the time comes, I hope that those videos end up actually helping you. We are going to have some synergy videos and things of that nature coming really, really soon. So yeah, man, I appreciate all you guys that have been patient with the process and just really have, just been supporting from the very beginning. But nonetheless, man, all of you guys have an amazing day. Stay blessed out there, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.